California Governor Gavin Newsom and his Democrats in Sacramento have gotten some really bad news in the form of devastating polling results. California voters are turning on them. Coming up, I'll tell you what the results show and how we're capitalizing on this to take back our state in the 2026 elections. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California and a California state legislator. I'm telling you, things are changing in California. You saw that, an early indication in the 2024 election results, where Donald Trump shifted our state dramatically to the red, to the right, picking up a number of counties from 2020, the 2020 election. People were pretty surprised. I wasn't, because we've been detecting in polling results and in voting patterns a shift to the center and a shift to the right in the California electorate, mainly coming from working class Californians who just simply can't afford to live here anymore, particularly Latino Californians. A lot of California voters are upset and they're looking for alternatives. And I'll tell you, we're going to walk through the polling results right now. The only thing that limits our ability to take back our state, there's only one thing, because the voters have already shifted. Naturally, no one caused them to shift. It was just the terrible situation that they have found out here in California, the high cost of living, the crime, the grime, the homelessness, the failing schools. Look, the list goes on and on. The thing that limits us is whether California Republican establishment politicians can pull their head out of their ass and actually do the right thing, compete in the state of California for once in their damn lives. That's what Reform California is all about. Is not waiting for the politicians and the political class and the influencers, the insiders to wake up and realize what's going on. No, they're never going to wake up. They're going to be at the tail end of the change in the state of California. We've got to be at the front end, the grassroots, the citizens. And that's where we're inviting you to participate. So I'm going to get to the polling results, and it reinforces the gulf between insiders and general voters in the state. But I'm inviting you to be part of this change. Yes, it's possible, but only if you get off the couch and into the fight. So go to the website, reformcalifornia.org, reformcalifornia.org. That is our central base on the internet for all things in the fight against tyranny here in California to take back our state. We've got news on a variety of issues so that you get the truth about what's going on in California. You've also got the opportunity to join a number of ballot measure campaigns that we have underway, including our California Voter ID initiative to put voter ID on the ballot in 2026 to just restore the integrity of our elections. Also, we have on that website our candidate target seats. We have a list of 26 target seats in the state of California. Go to the portion that says flip target seats. We're doing candidate recruitment, training, endorsements, and of course, we are going to be getting ready for those voter guides in each of these districts. 26 for 2026. This is a list of all the target seats across the state of California, from Congress to state Senate to state Assembly. These are the most winnable seats. And it's not just 26 seats. We actually have a bunch of on the watch seats that are also winnable in the right environment with the right candidates. So check out those seats. See if you're in any of them, because we're looking to recruit people to run for office. But more importantly, we need people to support this movement, these candidates, and these ballot measures. So on that website, please sign up at the bottom of the website to continue to receive updates from Reform California. Every Friday, our newsletter goes out. But more importantly, we'll give you our voter guide in both the primary and the general election, the California Plain English voter guide, so you know what you're voting on. Judge candidates, school board candidates, and of course, a plain English description of the ballot measures. Sign up, first name, last name, email, phone, and zip code. Then, of course, contribute whatever you can to the campaign. We need your help. Even $5 helps put gas in the tank. So as I mentioned, the polling studies, they're overwhelmingly showing that voters have woken up and they're disgusted with Gavin Newsom. They're disgusted with the California Democrats, supermajority that have run our state into the ground. Again, highest cost of living, surging crime, skyrocketing homelessness, job losses all over, companies moving out of the state virtually every day. We also know that our schools are failing. And what are they doing? They're doing the wokeism. They're doing high-speed rail. They're banning gas stoves in your kitchen, all this nonsense. Well, voters have woken up. 2/3 of voters, 65%, say the state is on the wrong track. We also have disapproval ratings for both the governor and the state legislature, which means that the voters are in the market. They're in the market for an alternative. The Republican Party has not provided a good alternative yet because they're not really competing, they're not really fighting. That's where Reform California comes in. We're turning the tide on that front. But Politico and UC Berkeley Citron Center for Public Opinion did an interesting poll and released the results this week because it gauged what the insiders think about California politics. And the insiders are the lobbyists, the labor union bosses, the politicians, the political consultants, the fundraisers, the special interest representatives, all the gaggle of asshats that are up in Sacramento that run the show. The insiders, the elites, the ones that get the freebies, the free drinks at the bars in the 1 mile radius around the state capitol in Sacramento. So they polled those people, but then they polled real people, like normal people, like you. And they found that there's a massive gulf of disagreement between what the insiders think's happening in the state and what should happen and what the voters want to see happen. So, for example, the poll showed 57% of influencers, the insiders, think, oh, the state's on a great path and the best days are coming. Only 45% of voters feel that the best days are coming. A massive disparity there. We also see that the issue of Trump comes up. It's dramatic. The California voters are done with Trump resistance. They don't want their government focusing on a blanking match with the president. They'd rather have issues here locally addressed by state leaders. The electorate is strikingly more likely to want a detente with the White House in California. They want to work with Trump. The voters want us to get things done, overwhelmingly. And the voters are actually a little bit more in agreement on immigration and the cost of these climate regulations with Trump versus the Democrats in control. For example, a plurality of voters are skeptical of legal immigration. Less than half think the state should be able to set its own standards on vehicle emissions. I have another poll that shows that 70% of Californians oppose the EV mandate for cars. 70% oppose the gas appliance ban on your stove and your water heater and your furnace at your home. But these are the issues that are being pushed by California politicians. The poll also shows that while the governor keeps flip-flopping on the issue, but the legislature just killed a bill to protect girls' sports. Voters, 70% want or 65%, and nearly half of Democrats want to protect girls' sports. Biological gender should determine how you get to compete. So it's a level playing field. It's a fair playing field. And this is according to the Public Policy Institute of California. But what happened? All the Democrats voted against protecting girls' sports. When you're taking positions against 70% of California on natural gas appliance bans. By the way, voter ID is also a 70% issue. The EV mandates, the idea of raising taxes, 70% disagree. Or protecting girls' sports, 70% are in favor. But the Democrats consistently take a contrary position and are actually leading the fight against what the voters want. The time is ripe for a rebellion. These voters are getting sick and tired of the nonsense of Trump, Trumpity Trump, and all the social agenda. They want the basics. And if we in the 2026 election recruit, train, mentor, and support candidates that are about the basics, and we put ballot measures on like voter ID, like the California Taxpayer Protection Initiative, these issues will create a tidal wave of reform and change. Look, even the poll shows that frustration with homelessness is boiling over. So our local elected positions are on the chopping block for Democrats. We can go after them. 37% of voters now say that we should arrest homeless people if they refuse to accept shelter. 24% somewhat agree with the approach. Only 38% oppose the idea. Somewhat agree means that we actually can do a variety of different reforms to strengthen law enforcement on homelessness. But that's not what the Democrats want. They want to coddle. They want to throw good money after bad. $1 million per unit condo drug dens is what they're building with your money, rather than getting the root cause of clean, sane, and sober rules to get to mental health and substance abuse treatment. Look, at Reform California, we are leading the fight. Even Kamala Harris is in charge, is in danger here. California power brokers shrug at possible Kamala Harris run for governor. 1/3 of the insiders say they're, quote, indifferent. The insiders know that she's a losing candidate. And voters, independents, are not happy about her running, which opens the door. A recent poll showed 48% of Californians are willing to vote for a Republican for governor. 48%. And midterm elections are all about turnout. So you're not going to get 100% turnout. You're not going to get even 80% turnout like you saw in the presidential election. You're probably going to get 35% turnout. The people who are angry with the status quo will turn out, which means 2026 in California has a great opportunity to be that tidal wave of change. Only question is, are we going to be ready? So I'm encouraging you today, digest the polling numbers, check out the Politico Citron poll, the PPIC poll. I just went through some of the screenshots of them, but do sign up at reformcalifornia.org to be part of the growing movement to take back the state, so that you're ready and you're informed when these races come up, and you get the voter guide and you know which candidates we're supporting, from judge and school board all the way up to Congress. Also, chip in a contribution. We need to cover the hard costs of this campaign, to help these candidates out, to run the candidates, to distribute the voter guides, but most importantly, to get those ballot measures on the ballot. We've got to get voter ID on the ballot in 2026. It's so important. Can't do this alone. Join the fight at reformcalifornia.org. Chip in a contribution, sign up, and of course, like and subscribe to this channel. Share this video so we can break through the censorship of the liberal media. Until next time, I'm Carl DeMaio, Chairman of Reform California and a California State Representative. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. But before you click away, please subscribe to this channel and click that notification button so you get updated when we post new episodes. Plus, like this video and share it with your friends so that we can help spread our message across the state. Reform California with Carl DeMaio is paid for by Carl DeMaio for State Assembly.